Welcome to another episode of Game Time, presented this week by Newsenda Credit Union. I'm JP Murrieta, and it's a 2-for-1 this week. We're with the Hobbs boys and girls soccer teams and boys head coach Reyes Marcus. Thanks for joining us this week.
Thank you for having us, JP.
We are a couple weeks into the season. How's this year gone so far for you?
You know what? We got a little derailed right off the bat, but for the most part, I think we've all refocused and we're back on track.
How many returning players do you have from last year's state championship squad?
Wow, we probably got about 12 of those.
And what kind of cohesiveness, how are they playing so far, those returning players?
For the most part, our defense is what we return for the most part. And so we feel like we have a state championship caliber defense. And so right now we're just trying to find our rhythm over the top.
What is it about that defense that really impresses you so much?
Oh my goodness, we've got some size. They communicate very well, and they're real. I mean, they're hard-nosed. They really are. Blue-collar guys.
What did winning that state championship do for you and the program last year?
It really brought our community back to where we feel like, hey, we're receiving a little love as, and I know people don't like to hear it, but sometimes, you know, you feel like a second-tier program, you know, because we tend to put, you know, certain sports in the forefront, but for the most part, I think it brought us back to light, and so that's been healthy for us.
Who are some of those individuals that are carrying the load for you this year?
Oh my goodness, our one of our big wigs is Diego Castañon, our goalkeeper, right? Who, you know, if we remember the PK saves that he did at the state championship.
Quite the game.
We've got Alexis Sanchez, our midfielder, workhorse in the middle. We've got Camacho, who also took PK at the state championship, and he's one of our forwards. But we still have Nathan Villalobos. We have newcomer Dylan Galindo, and Dom Salas in the back.
The Hobbs boys and girls are up in Albuquerque for the annual Charger Invitational. You guys have been here before. Why come up here to play in this tournament? What do you get out of it?
We get some exposure. We get, we'd like to think we're always searching for a little respect and a little, you know, what does it look like? They finally get to see us firsthand. And so we're hoping that, you know, in coming up here, and if we take care of business, we feel like we'll be rewarded at the end of the season with a seating.
Well, at the end of the season, traditionally, teams from the north and the metro area have really dominated soccer. But
Yes,
you guys hold the blue trophy from last year's state championship. Is it the pendulum starting to swing the other way? Is the South starting to kind of dominate soccer a little bit?
You know what? The former school I was at, and even where I'm at today, I've always felt like they've had the respect of the game of soccer, right? But in going through them, we've been encountering, I mean, you know, people out of Las Cruces. You look at Centennial, you look at Gadsden, you look at Santa Teresa, those guys are juggernauts. And then you look at our own district, you know, you've got Clovis, you've got Roswell, Carlsbad. I mean, they've been there year in, year out. And so I think the state needs to recognize that a little bit.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about the ladies. What kind of group is the Hobbs girls soccer program
Oh my
this
God,
year?
they are resilient. They are resilient. You know, in coming and watching them for the most part throughout the year, their defense, it's stellar. Their defense, their keeper, their defense all the way through, and they have a gifted forward that'll take care of business.
And lastly, what would constitute a successful season for both the boys and the girls? What kind of goals do you set out there?
Ultimate goal, of course, is the big prize, right? We never want to take our eyes off of the ball, and so that's what we're going to chase. We'll chase that blue trophy, you know. But success will come in, you know, how healthy are the programs, right? Because we know that the game of soccer is going to end for all of us at some day. So, was the relationships, right? Was it a healthy program inside and out? Because we tend to focus so much on the soccer, but the reality is we'll chase it. And then, you know, hey, if we can win X games through the playoffs, it'll be worthwhile.
All right, well, the chase is on.
All right.
Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We'll be back with more Game Time after this.
Are you living the life of an athlete? The New Mexico Activities Association brings you Life of an Athlete, a resource for students, educators, and parents to understand the challenges students face. Athletes, one night of drinking will negatively affect your athletic performance for 2 weeks. And athletes who drink or do drugs are twice as likely to get injured. Alcohol's effects can reduce a high school athlete's potential by as much as 20 to 30%. Are you living the life of an athlete? Log on to the website to find out today.
Hi, I'm Sabrina Marquez from Hobbs High School. Welcome back to Game Time.
Welcome back to Game Time, presented this week by New Senda Credit Union. Believe it or not, we are already in week 5 of the high school football season. But before we look ahead, let's look back at week 4 at some of the standout performances and highlights.
The 6A defending state champs continue to roll. The number 1 La Cueva Bears beat Sandia 42-19. Cam Dyer with a TD toss on the first play of the game to Cheeto Lumbrera, who scored 4 times in this one. La Cueva will host Farmington this week. Bernalillo has yet to lose this season. The Spartans shut out Moriarty 42-0. Uriel Castro rushed for 3 scores and threw another 3 TDs. Unbeaten Bernalillo has a bye this week. Lovington's own Dallas Cardenas rushed for 3 touchdowns as the unbeaten Wildcats picked up a big 35-21 win over Roswell. Lovington is at Goddard this week. The Rockets are coming off a 42-6 win over Santa Teresa. Goddard quarterback Isaiah Montoya ran for 2 touchdowns in the first half. Goddard is now 2-2 on the season. Artesia snapped a 2-game losing streak. The Class 5A defending state champs beat Deming 64-27. Bryce Parra returned the opening kick for a touchdown, and the Bulldogs never looked back. Artesia is at home against Gadsden this week. Centennial's Zayden Davis was at it again. He rushed for 190 yards and 4 touchdowns as the Hawks beat Rio Rancho 49-27. Unbeaten Centennial opens district play against Carlsbad. Espanola Valley improved to 4-0 on the year with a tough grind-it-out 14-7 win over Grants. The Sun Devils rushed for 289 yards. Espanola Valley is at Moriarty next. Capital picked up their first win of the season with a 55-11 victory over Del Norte. Capital will try to make it 2 in a row this week against Los Alamos. Robertson's Jesse James Gonzalez accounted for over 300 yards of offense in the air and on the ground as the Cardinals beat Ruidoso 68-13. Robertson has yet to lose 4 games into the season, and they'll host Raton this week. Legacy Academy posted a 55-0 shutout at Santa Fe Indian School. Quarterback Lorenzo Cedillo Urban had 6 touchdowns on just 7 completions. The Silverbacks are unbeaten and home against McCurdy this week. Manzano quarterback James Vautier threw for just under 400 yards and 6 touchdowns in a 40-14 win over Hope Christian. The Monarchs are 3-1 and host Portales this week.
Hi, my name is Alexis Sanchez from Hobbs High School. Check out the latest football polls.
Hi, I'm Brooke Davis from Hobbs High School, and we'll be back with more Game Time after this.
At Jiffy Lube, we car about cars. In fact, we're kind of obsessed. It's why we've been taking car business with quick quality service for over 40 years.
Are you saying car?
That's right, Claire. And with things like our Carful Vehicle Review, where our experts check, fill, inspect, and clean your vehicle, you'll know we'll car for your car like we car for our own. Some people think it's just an oil change. Who cars? We do. We car.
You mean care?
Exactly. Jiffy Lube. Car more.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail. Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials across the country because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Welcome back to Game Time, presented this week by New Senda Credit Union. You know, losing a star player can be devastating to any team or program, but when you have a Scottie Pippen to go along with your Michael Jordan, makes the transition a little bit easier. And that complement individual just happens to be going on to play at the next level too.
The Bosque girls soccer program reached the final each of the last 2 seasons, but came up short both times.
We were bummed because we really wanted to win, but we definitely are going to use that to motivate us. We really want to win. We all really would love it to be state champs.
They're going to have to make that run without standout junior Rose Candelaria, who suffered a season-ending knee injury. Missing a player who scored 29 goals last season is a tough loss.
Massive if, you have Jordan can't do something, you have Pippen to pick it up, and vice versa. And this year we only have one, so it's going to be difficult, really difficult.
That one player he's talking about is senior Ainsley Capps.
Athletic, technical, diehard. She doesn't give up. She's always going 100%. And this year, she's a senior, but she wasn't a captain before. This year, she's fully embraced that, being a captain. So she feels the pressure, but she's ready to take it on.
I love the scoring. I'm very ambitious, I would say aggressive, but I also love to make my teammates do well. You know, the girls, when they get in that don't usually play, when I can get them a goal or create something for them, I love it.
Capps committed to play soccer at the University of New Mexico.
I love UNM. The people, the coaches, the culture, everything about it is just so enticing. It's just something that I just feel like I can't get enough of when I'm there.
Now without Rose Candelaria, the pressure is on Ainsley to perform.
It's immense. You got the whole team on your back, and I always tell her, you got to put the cape on and lead the team, put them on your shoulders and go. But she's a senior, and she plays on a top-level club team. She's the leader of this school, so she's ready for it. She's ready to do it.
I guess I feel the pressure a little bit because Rose is a great player, and I definitely think we are missing her, but I'm hoping that we can just find ways to work around it.
Regardless of who is or isn't in the lineup, the goal remains the same, a return trip to the state final.
It's hard after you make the finals 2 years in a row to not want to get back there. The state tournament is always our minimum acceptable standard, is to make the state tournament. Once we get there, anything can happen. That's why you play the game. So hopefully we get back to the final, but we want to get to state.
It would mean the world to me, even getting to the state final again. I mean, even if we don't win, but I think we're gonna win.
The Bosque girls will take on Sandia Prep this week in a rematch of last year's state tournament final. That's going to do it for another episode of Game Time, presented this week by New Senda Credit Union. Thanks for watching this week. Make sure you tune in next week, because you never know where we're going to go, who we're going to talk to, or who's going to be in the spotlight. But you do know the place to find the most high school highlights is right here. We'll see you next time on Game Time.